Hey everybody, Kendra and 𝙏𝙚𝙘𝙝 here again from Cloud Next Level. We are coming to you today with another trend that we have seen emerge in our 2 years in the Salesforce consulting space. And we're hoping to give you some helpful hints if this is a challenge that your organization is facing. So the topic today is that of an ever-ballooning tech stack. And when we talk about a tech stack, we're talking specifically about software applications that your organization is using. So in these days of software as a service, which Salesforce actually pioneered, if you didn't know that, it's really easy with just a credit card and a couple of clicks to add another software tool to your portfolio. However, this can kind of quickly take on a life of its own and get a little bit out of control. So Jay, as you think about some of the challenges that this can present, what comes to mind for you?
Well, Kendra, there's a lot of challenges that companies are facing. First of all, you kind of hinted at it, but let's take it a little bit deeper. Companies oftentimes have hundreds of applications running, and some they know of, some they don't know of, because you mentioned it's very easy for an individual to buy an application and use it in a business environment. So you've got a lot of applications, and a lot of those don't necessarily talk to one another. They're not integrated. So here's a simple example people can probably identify with. You call a company to check on, let's say, your insurance. I want to check on my car insurance. So I call the company up and they walk me through a series of things and I give them my information. And then they switch me to another person and I have to go through that over again. And then while you're talking with them, you'll a lot of times hear them say, wait a minute, I need to open up another screen. Oh, wait a minute, that screen is frozen. So these are examples of having an unwieldy tech stack. I mean, they're very simple, basic ones, but when you really get into mission critical technology, you want all that technology to be seamlessly integrated together. So it involves a lot of things, and you're going to get into some of those steps. But I mean, just think about employees having to log in, log out, log in, log out for a variety of systems. That wastes time, it wastes effort, it certainly impacts customer service, my example in the insurance industry. But on the opposite end of that, it's the single source of reporting that you want. Companies are always scrambling. We don't have enough information. We don't know where, what's the latest version or what's the real truth. So real-time reporting on mission critical applications is essential, which means those need to be integrated together somehow, some way, and then feed information into a single source repository that will allow for dashboards and reporting. So Kendra, why don't you take us through some of the do's and don'ts of getting that accomplished?
Yeah, absolutely. And you raise really good points, particularly on that last one about that single source of truth. We've talked in some of our previous conversations about the impact of data or systems that executives don't trust. And if you have information living in 100 different places that is not consolidated, it's not consistent, how do you know what to trust? So as we go about helping our clients to kind of sort through this, there are a few things that come to mind. Well, first of all, everybody is always trying to decrease their spend, right? So, you don't want to be paying for multiple applications that do essentially the same thing. They're just being used by different groups. So getting a real handle on what does your organization have in its software portfolio. So we work with clients who are really small, and we work with clients who are, Fortune 50 large enterprises. So how you go about this is going to vary depending on where you are in that spectrum. But something as simple as having a spreadsheet, and we'll actually link to a template you can use, where, if you're a smaller organization and it's a manageable number, if we're talking maybe in the low hundreds, to really just take the time to understand, okay, what is everybody using from a tools perspective? So start in the department where you work and then branch out from there to get a real clear view of what are we paying for? What is the functionality? How is it being used? Where can we consolidate or integrate? On the other end of the spectrum, if you're a large enterprise, you might want to use a tool like ServiceNow. So they have a whole application portfolio management piece. Again, we don't get paid by ServiceNow. It's just a recommendation. We should, but we don't. In fact, it could even integrate with Salesforce if you so chose to do that. But the point is, have a method. to really get a clear view, analyze what you've got, and then as you go forward, the next time somebody says, hey, I'm gonna try out this new application, before they get too far down the path, you can say, let us take a look at what we've already got here and see if that's really necessary or not. So this, again, is an ongoing issue for pretty much every organization that we've worked with in our careers and in our consulting practice. So if you're struggling with it, don't feel alone. Take small steps to get there, and you will be able to tackle this. So
absolutely.
Any final thoughts from you on this topic?
Well, yeah, it kind of in summary, you need to have a plan, right? And so first of all, you need to do inventory of each department. What applications are you running? What's the business reason that you're running them? What is the outcome that you expect from them? And what would be reportable to management about them? And then start building out a plan. Do we need all of these things? Can we reduce costs? Can we consolidate, or get rid of redundancies? So having a plan, having a strategy, and whether you work with a technology company to do it, whether you're working off a spreadsheet, it's the thought that goes into it that brings results out of it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for listening. We hope this has been of some help, or at least comfort to you. Happy holidays and happy selling.
Take care.